What's happening? Yeah, what's happening? What's that? That's it, you got it.
All right, what is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson. Welcome back to another episode of What's Happening. This is a weekly series where I fill you guys in, answer some of your questions, so I don't kind of leave those novel long posts on YouTube. And yeah, we just kind of go over stuff. So first and foremost, let's jump right into the 5.3 damage report. So there were a couple guys that said exactly what the problem I feel was now. But when I opened the thing, I didn't expect it to munch that cam again. Kind of got the wind taken out of my sails a little bit. But that's all besides the point. So it actually, in my honest opinion, ended up being this guy. So this is a plastic lifter tray. And before I make a big mess on myself, I want to talk about blowing the car up real quick. Well, thinking I blew the car up. There's a guy on there, I'm not exactly sure who it was, but hopefully you're watching this. And he was like, oh, I was on the fence about doing LS swap and you just sealed the deal for me because I don't want to go through what you're doing. And then obviously like it's a lot of effort and trouble and they just come apart, right? Well, let's be honest. I've had this thing in my car for quite a while. I'll reiterate it. I don't mind eating the crow and taking the heat. You know, you blow your motor up, they're gonna make fun of you. And especially being like an SBE LS guy, that really is par for the course. Because this is the only time that anybody with other platforms generally can gloat. Because other than that, we're out there just kicking everybody's ass. I mean, I have a low dollar quick car. My buddy Reed, his car flies and he's got a 4.8. So anybody with like some big block or you got some small block Chevy that's built to the hilt and the moon and all that, you still got a ton of cubes on the guy and the thing still hauls the mail. And when it comes to reliability, I've had this car over 2 years and I flog it. I don't take care of it. I don't run an air filter on the turbo. I changed the oil, I want to say maybe 3 times in the whole length of time that I had it running because I thought it was funny. A lot of this stuff is just to kind of see what you can get away with. When you got a low investment, you're like, let's just get back to the track. Instead of spending $100 on, you know, maintenance, I'd rather spend it to go try to make passes. Well, at a certain point, your time, you know, your number's up and your time runs out. And when it came apart, the lifter came apart, I didn't change these. These are the same baskets, if you notice. They're like really dark brown in color. They kind of start off life, I believe it's like gray. I do have a new setup there, by the way. And I used these from the very first. So I've had 2 LS motors. I had a 4.8, which was short-lived because I munched the cam doing donuts. Again, self-inflicted, being an idiot. And then right after that, I got this motor. I've had this in the car ever since. Like I said, it's been over 2 years. These come out of the other engine that they were previously used when I put them in. Never bought a new set for myself. I've had new sets, like the motor I built for my buddy KP. I was iffy on the trays that were in that engine, so we swapped him out with some fresh ones. But what I was not aware of, and I'll show you guys to get straight to the point, is what these things do. Here's one of my lifters. They basically slide the lifter in, and then it holds it, right? Like that. So see how it's holding it in there? You can't really twist it or move it. And again, you slide it in. That one's a little looser. Doesn't twist or move. Same thing. And then good old number, whatever number that was. 7, cylinder 7. So it rocks back and forth. It's probably hard to see, but I mean, I can wiggle it. As for like this one, I can't do anything. So there you go. You guys were right. It was an I told you so. Had I swapped this out when I put my new cam in, the stage 4 cam, we would not be having this conversation. I do believe that, and I think that motor's still fine. I would probably check the lifter board considering 2 of them came apart and moved around in there. The motor's already gone. I sold it to my buddy Dylan, and he really wanted it. And then what I did is cheap insurance because he's cool, and obviously it's a known, the thing had known issues. I don't know if the pistons or rods took any damage. They look decent. I didn't pull any slugs out. So what I did do is I had another 5.3 block and crank that was given to me because I was going to build one at one point. So I sold him the motor out of my car, and I gave him the other block and crank that I had as cheap insurance that he would have a complete engine, because I don't want to try to give somebody something bad, even though they're excited about it. So he has that, and he's going to give me a report on the teardown when he pulls the slugs out. And I'm actually going to laugh because I have a feeling that engine's going to end up back in his car, refreshed, and then just terrorizing the drag strip once again. So yes, it was lifter tray. That's what got me. It bit me. And expensive, lesson learned. So I'm not done learning lessons though, if you're wondering, because I still need a lifter. So I'm just gonna dig through what I got, and we're gonna play lifter roulette, and I'm just gonna put a used lifter in with these guys. Yeah, I know you guys are probably shaking your head at this point, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Everything will be great. So that is the plan for now. Maybe if I go to like Napa and just get one lifter, maybe I'll just do that, because for the money, I think I could do that. So maybe we'll just not be complete knuckleheads this time. And speaking of that, let's fast forward and move along. So 5.3 is gone. We've got a 6.0, and I'm going to dub this project the 6-point disco. That's right. We're going to make a project out of it, kind of, and we're going to make lemonade out of lemons. So what I decided to do from the comments and things, and everybody kind of harps on the same things, right? It's, you know, your cam bearings, do your cam bearings, and then it's like rod main bearings, why don't you freshen it up, and so on and so forth. Well, this is what I decided to do, and I think it's going to be like a good middle ground for you guys that maybe you're worried, like me, about blowing stuff up because you'd like to make more than 3 passes with your new setup, which will be fine because I got the lifter tray, so we're good. But maybe you're just one of those guys, you know, you open the thing up and you panic and you're like, oh, it's not going to make oil pressure, which it's going to be fine. I am going to have the solution and videos on it. So what I decided to do with the 6-point disco is we just did a dingle ball hone. The cylinders look decent. This is what we're going to do though. So let's just assume that you got an engine. Your cylinders all look good. You just slam the dingle ball hole in there real quick. Everything kind of cleans up. You just take the glaze off is all we're really trying to do. You can go ahead and buy new rings if you want to. Clean your old pistons up. Say you got some Gen 4 rods and stock pistons, but you want to do the bearings and getting all the bearings. Well, the cam bearings in this motor, they're showing a little copper, which does not really concern me. I actually literally had a buddy call me today and yell at me that he was going to come to California and kick my butt if I didn't change the cam bearings. So I laughed because I purchased cam bearings for it. Then I purchased the tool, which is way more expensive than cam bearings. And the reason I went out on a limb to do this is I deal with the junkyard motors a lot, and I figured it might just be an easy thing when I get one in that the bearings are toast, I'll just knock some new ones in. And now when I'm selling it to the next guy, it's one less thing he's got to worry about. So the other thing I went with too, I figured since you're already in there, if you're doing cam bearings, you got to move the crank because it makes it easier to get to everything. Well, by the time you let the magic out, as Happel says, you might as well just put some bearings in it, right? Well, we're going to do a half-ass refresh is what I'm going to call this thing. This is like the poor man's rebuild. We'll just say that with it. I got the rings for boost, so I already took those out, cleaned the pistons. We're just going to reuse the rings. I put a slight ball hone on it just to kind of take the glaze off the cylinders for the most part. And then the cam bearings on my motor, they're actually really rough. They had the copper, the top side was rough to the touch, like to the point where I was like, eh. And this motor side open with the valley cover, and it had crap in it. So when I went to pull the cam didn't come out very easily. Although the bearings stayed in, which is great because it means none of them spun. They're just in there and they're ugly. So by the time I did that, I was like, I might as well just do bearings in this motor. So what we're gonna do is I got cam bearings, main bearings, and rod bearings, and they are all from Summit. Everything in this box totaled $109.08. So that was with tax and everything. So it's just under $100. And that is for cam, main, and rod bearings. So I got the Durabond cam bearings. We're gonna go over this too when I install these things. I'll do it on camera, so you guys make fun of me if I crush or destroy these. But the trick with the cam bearings is you got to get the correct ones because they have different sizes. And then also, what's pretty cool about it is if you open the box, I won't get too crazy showing you guys, they're slotted, and then on here it tells you which one's which, because each position is a different bearing size. So I feel like some people get that wrong. I definitely would have got it wrong if I didn't do research, and I would have been trying to slam home the wrong size bearing. Next thing you know, your cam won't turn, and life's not good, and you're not happy. We did rod bearings, Summit brand. From what I understand, they're King bearings. I could be wrong. I don't know if you guys know what brand the Summit brand bearings are. Let me know. And then Summit main bearings. So we are going to just slam all those home before we put the new cam in, which I have right here too. Yeah, we went shopping at Summit once again. This is the Stage 2, so it's the SUM 8706. This should give me all the jam that I need. I didn't want to get all wild and outside the box. I really did want to try that Stage 4 in the 6 liter, but I really don't want to buy that again. So we'll just go with this, and this should be fine. People made plenty of power. I believe a guy on Sloppy Mechanics with his 3rd gen, I want to say it's Brett was his name. I could be wrong. He made all kinds of jam with this thing, so I'm not really concerned about that. I can't probably make more than I push the car to, honestly, at this point. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do like a poor man's rebuild. I'll do my research. We're gonna put the cam bearings in, rod main bearings. I'm not gonna get really crazy and technical and check all my clearances and pre-do everything, because let's be honest, it's not going to the machine shop. This motor's just gonna go from here inside the car. So if it fails again, I guess you could say I told you so. But I figured for $100, we'll just throw those bearings in. The bearings in the motor, by the way, look fantastic. I mean, in my opinion, I'm not afraid of any of them. Other than the cam bearings were iffy. And then again, you got to pull the crank and everything out. And at that point, by the time I order it, if I spend $100, I got free shipping. I was like, whatever. And if you're wondering, because I never really knew, I never rechecked it, $27 for cam bearings. So would I rather spend $27 and not cam bearings in a motor, or would I rather spend a bearing and toast to cam? And I don't want to deal with it because we've been on Struggle Street for a while, so I'm going to do it half-assed right, if you will. And then we're going to paint the block and a few of the parts of the engine a new, fun, and exciting color, and we'll drop it in, and that is going to be 6-point disco. And then yeah, hopefully it lives and life is good, right? So that's what we're going to do. Oh, I got the rest of the stuff too for the rebuild. Before I drop my phone, I put a list, so I don't talk on here for an hour and a half. But I have other things, and again, we'll make videos because this is going to be the content I have, and I'll show you guys step by step. So I'll probably do like the how-to style video, so somebody can just go, oh, how do I put cam bearings in the motor? How do I put this in there? And we'll just do one of those series, because that's really the content at this point that I have. Unless my buddies get the cars together, Jeff, and then we can go back to the track and go have some fun. So I'll go over all the parts, all that fun stuff when we really get into the video. I just want to show you guys that we got a cam. We are going to be back in action. And it is going to take a little bit of time, because that leads me to my next thing that I wrote down. So we got that. We got 6-point disco. Next up for the Malibu, I decided, and a buddy of mine helped me make my decision, that we're going to throw paint on the Malibu before we dump the motor back in and head back out to the track. So that slows things down, and that does twofold. One, it stops me from spending so much money, because at this point I am just tapped out for a while. I have everything I need to put the engine back together, so I don't really want to rush it, and if I need little stuff here and there, we'll just kind of take our time. So painting the car is going to take some effort and time. It doesn't really cost me a lot because I paint stuff. I have material and supplies, and most of a paint job, as anybody that does paint work knows, it's effort. And then the other half of that is material. Well, my buddy Willie over at NCS Coatings hit me up. He had a mismatched color, and he said, hey, I found your Malibu paint for your Malibu. And I have it. I don't know where it is. I'll show it in one of these things. But essentially, we're going the same color. So he had a color that was kind of close. It was mismatched, and he looked at a picture of my car and literally almost matched it off of a photograph, which is very impressive. So it's just going to be a satin suede blue and single stage, nothing fancy, but everything will be in one color. And I'm going to take the opportunity to put the glass fenders and hood on. We'll shoot it all one color, one shade of satin blue, like a darker blue, and then we'll put the livery back on. I'll do new livery. I'll call my guys SoCal Sticker Kings, and we will get that thing looking fancy. And then I don't really have to dress that until we wreck it or put it into a wall or the paint falls off again, then we'll readdress that. But also, it'll keep it nice and safe over the winter because the weather is decent enough. I got to shoot that thing literally in the driveway, so maybe that'll be something fun I can showcase here, and you guys can watch me paint my car in my driveway like some of you would probably have to do. So that'll be fun. So we're going to paint the Malibu. It'll look a little more decent. Not really doing crazy body work. We're just stripping the crap. Like, my car's in really terrible shape. And then we're just going to cover up some of the ugly with fill work and just shoot it. Like I said, it's not going to be laser straight. The car's going to look great at 110 miles an hour and from the sidelines at the track. If you want to get up close, it's not going to be jammed. It's not going to be, it's race car stuff, but it'll look like $1 million on camera. So, and it'll be the same car you guys know and love. So I didn't change colors. We didn't go like purple with it or pink or anything. Yeah, so there's that. The next thing, speaking of the Malibu, is I have a new shirt design that I got. He's going to finish up today. I should have it hopefully today, tomorrow. So I'm going to do stickers and I'm going to do shirts. I'd like to get the shirts printed, so maybe we could do like a pre-order thing, because when you print them, I had to buy all the shirts, pay for the printing. It's like a big upfront cost. That's why the Shopify thing is great, but then it makes the price of the shirts really high because they basically do everything, and then I just throw a couple dollars on top of each one, and it just makes everything. That's why everybody, like YouTuber and everybody's stuff, it's all print on demand, and it's expensive because for guys like us to make a couple dollars on a piece of merchandise, they're making money on every single facet of it, and I'm the last guy to get any piece of the pie. But the reason I have my merch site and all this stuff, I pay for that thing to stay up every month so you guys can get stickers and hats and so you guys can get stuff. Not really for me to make any money, because I'm making a little bit, but let's be honest, I mean, maybe $1, $2 per item that you guys buy. So it all helps. I am very appreciative, but I'd really rather just have you guys have hats and shirts and stickers than really write home any profits. Although the sticker stuff is cool because I'm in with my guy. I've done lots of stuff. He always takes care of me. So I feel like I might kind of start pushing a lot more stickers. So I got a few more designs, and then I'll just give you guys a bunch of different ones to choose from, and we'll keep those nice and cheap so everybody can afford them. And then at least I kind of make something on stickers. As far as everything else goes, there's really no margin. So thank you guys for the orders and everything, but for the most part, it is what it is. That's why I don't design new stuff all the time and push stuff. Although the Malibu shirt, I feel it's going to be cool, so I will design it. I will just keep the margin negligible so that way the shirt's affordable, so that way you guys can get a hold of them. So I'd really like to see people start rocking some of the merch. That would be really cool. So I'll go back to the drawing board. I'll let you guys know we revamp that, and I'll just try to keep stuff as affordable as possible, because I know everybody's not made of money, and I know I certainly am not. So last thing on my list is the West Coast Sloppers. My boys are coming over tomorrow, so by the time you see this, it'll be the same day or the next day, and we're gonna sit and BS. I gotta make some room in here, and we're just gonna talk car stuff and have a little bit of fun, and then bring you guys along up to speed on what it is we're doing, and just hanging out and talking shop once again. I got some good response from you guys that you guys enjoyed it. It'll be long format, so I'm just gonna let the camera run until the battery kind of goes dead or we run out of stuff to talk about and things to do. So we're gonna bring that to you. So I've got the 6.0 build coming. We've got a cheap driveway paint job coming your way. Whatever the boys are up to, we're gonna follow them around. If we go racing, we go back to the dyno, whatever we got on the table, we'll hear more from them when they come over for West Coast Sloppers. So we got that up, and we got some new merch to look forward to coming up. So I think we're staying pretty busy and doing pretty good over here. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your time that you spend here watching the channel and supporting me and following along. And I can really feel the momentum. You guys have been great, and I think that hopefully by the end of the year we'll be doing pretty well with this channel. And then I'm really hoping, honestly, we get this thing out in front of people at LS Fest West. We get the Twinnebago out, and I'd really like to take my car down to Rocky Mountain Race Week 2021 and run in the Rowdy Radials class, bring a spectacle, bring a show, hopefully get some attention from the 1320 guys and stuff like that, and kind of grow this thing and get a little more momentum. But that's it. I'm done rambling. You guys know what to do. I'm out.